is the season once again. Toys for Tots is back.
Christmas should be a time of joy and a time of generosity and being able to give, and so it's important for every kid to feel that they're loved and cared for and provided for at Christmas time.
And you can do your part and partner with the Salvation Army and the Marine Corps Reserve. Drop off a new unwrapped toy in these drop boxes, or you can do it right here at WBAY in our lobby between now and December 10th. And that last call event here with the Marines, that's going to take place on that Wednesday the 10th. And speaking of Marines, and we welcome in Staff Sergeant Patrick Garcia, the United States Marine Corps, the point person for Toys for Tots in this area. Officially the head guy now for year 2, but you've been involved for a couple of years now with this. You were an assistant helping out before you took over. What is opening day? What kind of feelings does that bring up for you as we get this thing started?
Well, it's always exciting to start the new season. You know, we're reaching out to more and more kids every year. We're giving that hope out to everybody that receives something for Christmas, and I'm excited for it. You know, I'm really excited for the season.
It's funny, we say opening day, but I'm guessing you've been working on this for a while. So what does the preparation look like on your end leading up to the start of this campaign?
So we have a coordinators convention every year, but before October 1st, I'm calling around scheduling, you know, toy buys and things like that, like all the events that we have that are the standard things that we do during the season, just so I can get ahead of the game, because it is really busy. Not only am I, you know, the coordinator for Toys for Tots, but I'm still an active duty Marine, so I still have to do all of that. And yeah, I actually replaced a transmission in a Humvee, so because of things like that come up,
So you mentioned the schedule of the other events that you have, and you've been working on that. We think of the events as the boxes are out, we drop the toys in, and we have the last call event, which we do here at the station. That's coming up on December 10th with you and your fellow Marines. But there are a lot of these events. Have you noticed more and more of these coming online where it's, hey, come to this event but bring a toy, or the shopping trips that you guys do?
Oh yeah. Last year I was really advantageous about, you know, reaching out to more people, you know, servicing more. We had about 8,000 kids that we reached out to last year. Hopefully, you know, we can reach out to more this year. But yeah, it's really awesome. The events, they're all unique in themselves.
Sure.
So,
you know, like I was mentioned, you've been involved in this for years. I'm curious if you've noticed an ebb and flow as to when a lot of the donations start to come in. Just for example, we talked about last call, right? But last year I was with the Salvation Army at the distribution center as they were getting it set up, and it's just a massive behind-the-scenes logistical. For me,
crazy.
it would be a logistical nightmare, but I know some people really enjoy it. And you pulled up with the fire department with a massive truck full of stuff, which was after the last call.
Right.
So I guess this is a long way of asking, where do you notice the donations really ramp up?
Well, more so in December. You know, the boxes start to get filled. The people who have the boxes, they're contacting me like, hey, my box is full. Can you come get it? You know, because we're getting more toys.
Right.
And it's really brightens up the season, honestly. You know, more and more people get to get something for Christmas.
Let's talk about that, because we all know what's happening economically. In fact, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics just last week said toy prices rose nearly 2% this year because of the tariffs. We know that's going, we know inflation's going. So that not only probably drives the need for people to sign up for the program, are you concerned though that it might affect the donations this year? It might be more challenging for people to do donations.
Well, Marines, we adapt and overcome. You know, we're gonna figure out where the need is, and we're going to fill the need.
How do you do that?
We do that with, we get donations from the Packers every year. It's really awesome. And that really supplements the need. We use all the money that we get donated goes straight back into toys. So all the money that we get from the Packers and other private donators, all of it just goes straight, like I said, back into the.
So you've got basically a kitty, and that funds these shopping trips that you've talked about in the past.
Essentially, yes. We have some great, you know, people who donate, you know, for the kids, essentially, for the toys. And yeah, I'm not too concerned with the, you know, the price increase. You know, if we need to supplement, we have the resources to do it. We're always accepting of more donations, of course, but I want people who want to donate to know that like all of that is going straight. We don't get extra
Right,
money.
right.
We're still active duty Marines. We don't get any incentive
Sure.
or bonus for doing this. So other than the feeling of
Sure.
like, hey, I'm helping somebody.
So that adapting part of it, so you have this in reserve, if you will. How long do you wait to see, what gaps do we need to fill? Is that a coordinated effort? Do you wait a little while?
So with the Salvation Army, they do a huge part of our final distribution. They tell us really essentially like where we're hurting, hurting
Sure.
the most, like what we need the most.
Okay.
Last year during the distribution, I actually I went to Five and Below and bought like 300 toys for kids of different age groups for what we needed, so we could project out, to give
Sure.
everybody the same amount.
Okay, so it can happen as late as right before distribution to fill.
Yeah.
Because we've seen those, like I said, that distribution site last year, that was eye-opening for me, not just what was laid out in the shopping area, but how it was all separated in the back.
It's like Santa's workshop back there.
The size of an Amazon warehouse.
Right.
Any reminders this early on for people when they're out there, if they're going to buy gifts? We always talk about the age groups, teens. Don't forget about teens. Don't forget about some of the, the beauty stuff for teens. What would you say?
Right. So people can get creative with toys. Like toys. I'll even go out and get sketch pads and
Sure.
coloring pencils for something like a kit, like build a kit for when we buy toys, we can only spend $35 a toy.
Okay.
But what I'll do is I'll buy like a pen pad for $10 and then I'll get a pack of pens.
Ah.
I'll get creative with that, and all of our toys that we buy are tax free. So
Sure.
really like we can
stretch it.
We can stretch it out. Yeah, and it's really awesome to be able to give that to a kid,
Okay. So folks out there don't have the tax-free exemption, but you can
Right.
use his advice and be creative and package things together. Staff Sergeant, great to see you. Good
Hey,
luck
thank
with
you.
this. We'll see you on December 10th.
Hey, we'll see you then.